Hi, this is Jonathan Weinberg, and this is Drawing with Fountain Pens. Last week, October 24th at 6 o'clock, was the Pelikan Hub, which is held all over the world in different cities for people who don't know about it. Pelikan, the pen company, sponsors these fountain pen meetups, and they started announcing it sometime in July, and they asked people to sign up and say what city or town that they're closest to where they can meet up, and they figured out what are the best places. Last year was the first time that New Haven, Connecticut, which is where I lived, was a Pelikan Hub, and I hosted it. At that time, I would say only about 10 or 12 people were able to come. This time, the number has, I think, almost tripled in terms of people signing up, and it was a bigger event. The one bad thing that happened is that I, over the last few months, have had a reoccurrence of a very treatable form of leukemia, and believe it or not, I had to do chemo treatments in the last 2 weeks. So I could be at the hub, but only sort of as Zoom. I was actually upstairs in our house and welcomed people over on the television, not unlike what I'm talking with you now. And they kind of set it up so that I could see what was going on and could tell what a great time people were having. But I was not physically in the same room with everybody else. Fortunately, my husband, Nicholas Boshnack, and my good friend and now Drawing with Fountain Pen correspondent Andrew Wong was there, and he interviewed people, and so I can give you a sense of what occurred. Normally, I would be very suspicious of something that seems on the face of it to be so commercial, that's supposed to be celebrating Pelikan, but Pelikan actually does very little to really push their own company. They send a big banner, which people signed, and they sent people a gift, which was the 2023 ink of the year, kind of pink, was it rose quartz? So everybody who came to who had signed up and came to the party came away with a bottle of ink. It came with a little pad, so that's kind of very generous. And they asked that we show just a few, like a PDF or PowerPoint with just a few images of Pelikan pens. But that was really it. And people brought all kinds of different pens. They didn't just bring Pelikan pens. Now, I happen to love Pelikan pens and collect Pelikan pens, and people saw some of my collection, so I had no problems with that. I will note for everyone who doesn't watch the channel that there's some controversy about how you say the name of the company, because in German, Pelikan is pronounced Pelikan, but I have interviewed the distributor of Pelikan pens in the United States, and he assures me in the United States and throughout much of the world, they say Pelikan. Even in Germany, some people say Pelikan because I guess the Americanization of culture of English throughout the world. So it's one of those peculiar things, like whether should you say Van Gogh or Van Gogh, and so I've come to say Pelikan because it doesn't sound somehow pretentious. And anyway, we had a great time. During the course of the hub gathering, Dr. Andrew Wong, who's becoming like a correspondent for this channel, did a few interviews with some of the people at the party. Unfortunately, the sound wasn't really very good. There was too much background noise. But he did get some really great footage of two really beautiful collections, and I will sort of show a little bit of that on here, just to give you a sense of the kinds of pens that people were looking at by collections with Eric and Sunny. More and more I'm going to be doing things on this channel with Andrew. We are going to do interviews together with various fountain pen people, and see where that takes us. It's nice to have different points of view, and to see different ways of thinking about fountain pen. I'm always trying to sort of break out of the model where you just show a pen and write with it, and that's it, and review a pen, although I think that can be very useful. But I think there's so much more to this world, and I always am saying that at least in my experience, the people who collect fountain pens are both interesting and extraordinarily nice, and and that has been actually a great comfort in this time, both since I have been going through a kind of personal illness, but also the kind of anxiety and stress that people are experiencing in the United States. So I'm very grateful for that, and really having any excuse to bring people together, fountain pen people together, and talk about our pens is great. What's great about also these meetups is that they often have people who are both new to the pens. I had some friends here who I'd introduced to this sort of hobby who don't know a lot about fountain pens, and then there were people who know a lot about them, like Todd Merrill, who was there, who has an incredible collection of vintage pens and is an enthusiastic advocate for vintage pens. And I'm always saying this, is that people who collect pens love what we call newbies, because they're fresh. That people who are fountain pen aficionados very much like to like newbies, and like bringing them over to the dark side of fountain pen collecting. And it kind of is exciting to share our enthusiasm. So don't feel intimidated if you get invited to a pen meetup and you're new to this whole world, or if you think, oh my God, I don't know if I should go to a fountain pen show because I don't know enough about it. No, it's a very welcoming world, actually. Finally, I want to thank my husband, Nicholas Boshnack, who has been taking such great care of me and help host this with my other dear friend, Tyler Fallas, and also, of course, all the help that Andrew Wong gave to making this Pelikan Hub a great success.